We are live.
Hello, welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 363. Tonight, I am joined with Jared Schneiderman.
Hey, guys.
And Extremist Bab is back.
Hello.
This is great. I love the Extremist. You brought it back. I love it. We're glad to have you back. It's been like 2 weeks. I've missed you.
I've really missed you guys too. I'm so glad to be back with you. So much crazy shit's going on. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, our special guest tonight is the right-wing grifter known as Spike Cohen. That's what I've been in the Fakertarians group, and that's all I've been told about you.
Hundreds of dollars I have made to offset the
grifter.
Thousands. I know.
I mean, you do have a good setup.
I do.
Yeah,
you
don't have a Dave Rubin mansion somewhere that you've grifted away?
Oh no, I'm actually in my mansion right now. This is my third mansion. And the first one I got last year by pandering to the left and Marxists. And then this year I got this mansion from being a right-wing grifter. So
what did you get for teaming up with Vermin Supreme?
That was the first mansion. First mansion was I got all that Vermin Supreme money. Then second mansion was the BLM money. I got the mansion there next to Patrice. Then the third one I got my right wing grifter money. So it's stacking up. I'm doing good.
Nice.
Okay, cool. This time we're keeping our shirts on.
Yes, we're keeping our shirts off. It's a relief because I had thought that I had spent thousands of dollars over the last 2 years in doing libertarian activism out of my pocket, but it turns out I'm actually making a ton of money grifting, so it's kind of exciting.
Well, I assume everybody here gets their various checks from the Beltway libertarian organizations, right?
Koch brothers,
Cato, Koch brothers, right?
Yeah, I just got
Reason
mine,
Foundation.
The Koch brothers are funding this podcast.
So I have a Koch. So this shirt actually came from the Koch brothers. This is Concerned Veterans for America. It's for an event that I spoke at, and they reimbursed me for my flight to go to the event to speak. And so I literally got a check from Americans for Prosperity, and I took a picture of it like this. I'm holding that. So it's like, this is my flight. It was like, it was like $280. It was to pay for a flight to Virginia Beach and back. But I got a picture of myself holding it like I got Koch brothers money. So
good job. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thank you.
I'm so angry right now. I don't know what it is, but Facebook is all right. So I just got off a 24-hour ban for literally they hit me with a ban, they signed me out, and then they're like, "Oops, my bad. Sorry, we shouldn't have done that." I literally posted a song by Napalm Death. It's a cover of the Dead Kennedys they did called Nazi Punks Fuck Off. And I shared it from their catalog and their imagery in Facebook stories. And they literally gave me a 24-hour ban for it and then said, "Oh, sorry, my bad. We shouldn't have done that, but you still have to serve your ban." And
wait, when you say you got it from the catalog, you could just pull it down from Facebook itself?
Yes. I literally went to, you select on share your story, music, and then I was like, "Oh, Nazi Punks Fuck Off. That's a classic. I'm going to post that." What could go wrong there? I'm telling Nazis to fuck off. And
shouldn't you be on the side of Facebook there?
Nope. I guess it's because I'm just such a right-wing grifter.
Well, is it because you use the word Nazi? Is it because you're telling them to fuck off? Or is it because you're posting copyrighted material?
No,
I mean, who knows?
Because it's from their catalog. Yeah. They let you pick from a catalog of songs to add to your stories, and you can even have it where it'll show the lyrics will come up while it's playing and stuff like that. It's their you're literally using their approved catalog for it. I think
it's just you can't make this shit up.
Garbage.
You just can't make it up.
Facebook is garbage. I swear to God, it is trash. I mean, and even the memes aren't that great anymore. I mean, so many eventually you ban all the fun stuff, and it's what's left? Cat pictures, people's dinner and shit. All right.
You're describing my page basically is cat. Or dog pictures and cat pictures and what I ate and pictures of me throwing out baseballs. That's about it. That's pretty much my whole.
Can you hear the black helicopters that are swarming right now?
Wait, is the
sure those are
Taliban
mosquitoes?
Are those the one the Taliban now have? Is that what they are? Are you broadcasting from Kabul or whatever? Is that what's going on?
But I'm from a secure and undisclosed location.
So I'm trying to
Haqqani network.
So I'm trying to share this podcast,
just
and every
kidding.
time I do it, it says you're not allowed to go live for 30 days. Disagree? Do you agree with this decision? And I keep hitting no, and it's not working. And I'm just it's letting
you will
me
be
do it.
banned until you agree to be banned. Okay.
Yeah, you must confess your sins,
I know it's very
and we're
Orwellian.
going to hold you until you do.
Yeah, like it's literally just telling me right here, you can't go live.
Wow, you
Right
can't
now.
go live right now.
Does that
This
mean
is
we're
okay
not
or
live right
disagree?
now?
No, we're
Are we
live.
going- No,
we're
we're
on
live.
my account.
I just
Okay.
I can't share it as much as I want to because of this stupid bullshit. It just because I love spamming this group.
Alex says you got 2 strikes, Otto.
I know. So I was oh god, we didn't even talk about this. I was responsible for taking down the Mises Caucus group the other day.
Woohoo!
Wait, you
Yeah.
were responsible?
I was responsible.
What did
Did
you
you
do?
get
Wait, what did
Did you get a
What
thank
did
you
you
note
do?
from Faketarians?
What
or
white
like
supremacy did you post?
Right. So I literally they won't tell you. So what happened was I shared. So I'm a moderator in the group. So I've been uploading people into approving messages or people's posts. So we got just a bunch of people. So I'm just sitting there clicking, like going over it. Everything that's going. It's pretty much like mostly COVID stuff. But literally, I got 2 strikes at like 2:00 in the afternoon. They were like, Autodassing approved 2 messages that got taken down. And when you click on it, you see what you did. They won't show you. They say no,
They won't
we
show
can't
you,
show
yeah.
you. Like, no, it's so dangerous. We even had to remove it, so we can't even tell you what you
the
did.
thing you shared? We can't let you see what you shared. It's too terrible for you to see it again.
Yeah, and
Because
so
God
then,
forbid you learn from what I'm like, when I do the appeal, I'm like, if nothing else, just tell me what it is that was shared in the group, so I know what to not share, like, so I know, or not to approve, like,
or what
you
to
can't just
share
say
on a better
no.
platform. That's what they're really
Well,
you
and
really
that's-
want to
yeah.
know. It's
Well,
It's
yeah.
like, like, I don't care if it's freaking MeWe, like whatever, like this shit's got to
Right.
end. This is just ridiculous. Facebook serves no
So bad.
purpose than maybe promote a little thing, still reach a few people, still hear from a couple friends there, but Jesus,
Yeah.
what garbage.
I got the page taken down because it said I approved 2 things, and then finally, it like a few hours later, it took down the whole group, and I'm like, oh my god, what did I do?
Well, just
What did I approve?
just imagine the cumulative negative social credit score of the entire punk rock libertarian Facebook community, right? Like, add up all those low scores together.
It's
right?
like a golf game.
Right.
It's like a good golf score.
Right.
Like
So
a
like
good
every
golf
time a
score.
good meme goes up, there's like a light flashes on a bunker in Utah, right? And like like a bunch of bots spring into action, and they maybe have special meetings. The White House tells Facebook what to get busy. Everything springs into motion around our little Facebook community. So what do you expect?
As it stands, none of you will ever be able to get a mortgage in any NATO country ever. Like, you can't.
Not
But-
anymore.
However, Serbia is still in play. Montenegro. Okay.
Good to
Still
know.
a few.
Albania. I've heard.
Latvia.
Andorra.
Wait, Latvia's in NATO, isn't it? Hold on.
No, Andorra. Andorra is a good one.
Andorra's not in NATO. There's no way Andorra's in NATO.
We're saying, we're naming non-NATO countries.
oh, non-NATO. Okay, I was
I'm
gonna
saying
say
where you might have a
Oh, wow.
shot.
yeah.
Yeah, chance at life.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, no, Latvia. You can't go to Latvia. Latvia is a NATO country.
Damn it.
of course,
That was
that's
next on my
form
list,
a
too.
NATO
satellite
ally, Latvia.
goddamn government. But yeah, so I was responsible for the takedown of the Mises Caucus group. But fortunately, we got it back up. We had some people help us out with that, and we got the group back up. But we're
it's not like you
on
get-
thin ice.
Yeah. Don't beat yourself up, Otto. It's not like you gave everybody COVID.
No, that was PorkFest. That was PorkFest.
Wait, someone gave everyone COVID at PorkFest?
Oh,
at the
boy.
Mises
boy.
at the Mises tent. Yeah.
It's the Mises tent variant. I don't know if you heard about that. It kind of went around.
The Mises variant.
Yeah. Well, it's specifically spread through butt sex. Okay. So
Wow.
at the
A
Mises
lot of repressed
tent,
gentlemen were in that
Yeah.
tent that night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, so that's been my
Sorry.
week. It was a good birthday for me. Oh,
so
yeah,
wait,
my
is that
birthday-
is that why it says banned in DC as your Twitter? Or did
Well,
you actually change it to that?
I changed it to because like I'm a bad brains guy. Like I've relinquished my former self, my dead name, and I am now Otto forever. So I just was like, I want to get rid of that. I wanted something cool. And Bad Brains has a legendary album called Banned in DC, and I was like, well, it works on so many levels, so I'll just keep Banned in DC. BANNEDNDC for all you
Like
you
your
audio
band-
listeners.
Like your band and DC.
No, in
that-
DC. IN was taken. I couldn't do that.
Well, someone
going
else is
off
already
the verbal.
banned in DC. So you're banned with DC.
NDC.
Banned and DC.
The best thing is go to Punk Rock Liberty.
Like chicken
on
in
Twitter.
biscuits.
Ban
Not
Ned.
chicken in biscuits, right? Like
It's
All
like
right.
I
Ed,
knew
Ed,
I was
Ed.
going to get shit for this. I knew I was going to get shit for this. I just knew it. But no, it's cool. So I just wanted to switch it up. But you still go to my old name and search up all my other past discrepancies of the past like 11, 12 years.
Oh, you opened up a whole new account? You know,
No,
you can just change
it's the
your
same.
handle,
I
right?
just that's what I did. I just changed my handle.
Okay.
I'm just saying, so you can still type in my old name and see all the horrible tweets I made over the years.
Gotcha.
It's all there. It's all there in black and white. But anyway, yeah, so I just got done doing that, taking down the Mises Caucus group and on my birthday. So it's good. But yeah, so no, I'm glad.
What's
Spike,
next?
I'm glad you're here. I'm
glad to be here.
This is your second time on the podcast, I believe.
Yeah,
You
at
were on-
least.
Yeah,
At
I was
least.
gonna say.
Yeah.
So no, we're glad you're here, and we've been literally talking about this crab feast coming up
Yes.
in Maryland. We've been
I think
every
this
time
is
Alex
his,
is on.
I think it's your this is his Spike's
What?
at least third time, I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say it was at least, I know there's 2 times for sure.
Didn't he come around? He came around during campaign season, right? And then he didn't.
Yeah.
Then didn't we come back for the shirtless episode?
I thought the
I
shirt.
think the shirtless one was the campaign.
Yeah.
That was,
Okay,
that was
maybe I'm remembering wrong.
that's what got him. That's what got him elected.
But, yeah, that's why I'm vice
You're
president now.
Did-
What,
Well,
wasn't
Spike, we
there
love
one
the
before
shenanigans
the
you get
nomination?
involved in.
What'd you say?
What was that?
I think there was one before the nomination, wasn't there?
Yeah. Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I think like the week.
Yeah, there
I
was.
think, like the week of the
there was.
convention.
I
There was
swear to
something.
God.
So then
yeah.
I've been on 3 times. So I've been on
All right.
3 times.
Anyway.
Either way,
Well, it's great. It's great having you back because your shenanigans are epic, and I know you're
Thank you.
having like some of the stuff you were doing with Jack Lloyd was pretty hilarious.
Yes.
Now maybe you could weigh in on a controversial topic. Tom Woods has come down on Hawaiian shirt, right? And cargo shorts.
Wait a second. Hold on. You set it up, and I'll explain why this is my truther moment, and I'm ready to die on this hill. Go ahead.
All right, Tom Woods has he's kind of tired of being a libertarian expert, so he's becoming a fashion expert, and he's telling people what kind of clothing to wear, and he's come down on Hawaiian shirts and shorts, and if you're an adult and you're not at the pool, right?
I should note for the
So-
listeners that Babs is wearing a Hawaiian shirt currently.
Yes.
And probably also cargo shirt. If I had to
I'm
guess.
being a
Yep.
good little libertarian of Maryland
Yep,
right
he
now.
sure
My
is.
Libertarian. Yeah, oh wow, look at it. Oh, shorts too and everything. We saw Bab's legs, guys.
That's the
Woo!
first time we saw him.
You
That's
guys should be checking this out live.
they banned
Yeah,
my legs on OnlyFans now.
Oh,
So,
I'm wearing cargo shorts as well.
Oh,
Nice.
cargo shorts.
Yeah.
You love all this.
But I'm not wearing a Hawaiian shirt, but I absolutely will. I'll do it again.
Did you see the
Um,
Crocs when I stood up?
I did
Damn.
Oh, those are
but
Crocs. Oh boy.
I'm very
Oh, yeah.
sorry.
Missed the
Oh, hell yeah.
Crocs.
Well,
Boy.
maybe next time. I'll save
F
something
in-
for
F in the
OnlyFans.
chat.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find it because I blew this wide open and no one was ready for it. Where is that? Oh man, this is gonna bother me. Anyway, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. Tom Woods is not actually against. Where is
Wait,
it?
do you have photographic evidence of him
I know.
violating
We
his...
need some.
Are you saying he was
hold on.
framed?
No, you know what?
It was
Let's
all a
come
frame
back
job?
to this because this is a frame up job. Because I'm going to find it. Let's talk about something else, and we're
All
going
right,
to come
we'll
back.
circle,
to
but
this.
we'll
Well,
circle back on this.
all I
one.
know
We're
is-
going to circle back to this.
So I have been coined the hipster douche waffle
Yeah.
by a person prominent in the LP. So I will my
Nick
outfit
Sarwark.
will no my outfit will reflect that at the crab feast. So just be warned, because I'm actually picking you up from the airport. Like, this is funny. Like, I'm actually picking you up from the airport and driving you down all the way to the Eastern Shore, which is I just thought, I don't know how we got here, but we did. But it's
I mean, how far is the airport from
my house? It's
Houston?
like, oh, that's about like an hour-ish.
Not
Yeah,
that
hour
bad.
15 minutes. Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's fine.
But
That's fine.
I
You
I
can
don't know
take an
how.
hour in the car with me.
Could you take an hour with me? That's the real question. And my kids and my wife. So if you can do that,
fine.
it might be
No, that's
awkward
fine.
as shit, but I know you're definitely a very popular person. If only the state party would felt the same way, because they don't like to admit that you're coming, but you will be there. So
Wait,
we've
is
been
Maryland?
talking
Wait,
about it.
wait, is
I'm coming regardless.
Maryland LP
Huh?
is anti-spike? What are you talking
No,
about?
they're not anti-spike. They're how should I say?
Anti-acknowledging Spike.
Yes,
Listen,
yeah.
so okay. Here's
that means-
why.
Hold on, let Spike
All right,
go. Let Spike go.
yeah,
Here
let's
is
see.
why it just needs to be blown up. This is a lie. Okay,
Oh,
listen, this
snap.
whole thing right there. Okay,
All
I
right.
don't. So
Okay. All right.
it's so all. Oh, I'm not he protests too much here. Look,
That's
He's
amazing.
even got
The
a
whole
fanny
thing
pack
is
in
a
this
lie.
picture. So for
The
our
whole thing
audio
is a
even
lie.
the fanny pack. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the fanny.
So for
pack.
audio
Yes.
listeners, this is a real life image. It is definitely
Yes.
not a
I don't think
cartoon.
that's an artist rendering. I think that's an
No.
actual.
this is a
like,
verified high def, pre-vetted image. I vetted it myself of
Check the
Tom
pictures.
Woods wearing a Hawaiian shirt, shorts, and a green fanny pack. So I don't want to hear
that
a
is
thing about
so
Tom
lame.
Woods.
A
What
freaking fan.
lies?
Oh, he's a fashion expert with a fanny pack. God,
Yeah. Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Lies. Lies.
Well, it is very much all very a good set of lies. Now, I agree.
Well, we have a
that's my
fan club.
outfit the whole time.
We have a
What's
fan
that?
club. It's called League of the Tom Woods. Okay, and it's legit.
Is that
It's
the
a
name of the
legit fan club.
podcast? Is that the League of the Tom Woods?
That should be what you
No.
rename this page to, is League of
Yeah.
the Tom Woods.
Mhm.
No, it's we just love Tom. I mean, he's great, and yeah, we make jokes, but we definitely love him. I'm glad he recovered from COVID.
Yes.
That looked like but that's what you get at the Mises tent, right?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right?
Right.
I was supposed to be at Pork. Well, let me rephrase that. I was possibly going to be at Pork Fest, and at the same time that we were talking with Pork Fest, we were also talking with Libertarian Party of Michigan. And Michigan, when they heard that I was possibly considering doing Pork Fest instead of theirs, because I don't like doing this thing where I like go one place one day and then fly to the next place for another day. Like,
Yeah.
This isn't the campaign. I'm doing this every weekend. I'm picking one place per weekend at most of the time. And so when Michigan heard about the possibility of Pork Fest, they're like, we're booking your flight, we're booking the hotel, we're we're gonna set up, and we're doing a shooting event, and they made this whole thing. I'm like, all right, well then I'll do Michigan. And the Pork Fest is also happening during the weekday prior to that weekend, but I was already planned to do stuff with my family that week. So the only time I was available was that weekend. So long story short, I survived getting COVID. I didn't get COVID. I avoided getting COVID because Michigan stepped up. And that would have been my birthday. I would have gotten COVID for my birthday.
Well, only it depends on your exposure at the Mises tent. Like most people were not affected. It was only those close, sweaty quarters of the body on body, contact, the exchange of bodily fluids.
Wow.
I mean, you
probably
don't
would've
go
been
unless
okay.
you have a healthy immune system. That's what I'm going to say.
I must
And-
have a healthy immune system because
Maybe bring an
I have-
antibiotic with you just in case.
just in case. I have traveled to, in the last year and a half, since COVID happened, I've been to 42 states, some multiple times. I've done something like 150 or 160 events. I've met tens of thousands of people. I've been
Obviously,
to
you're
multiple,
dead now. Wow.
No,
You
he's
died.
he's
You must have
patient
died.
zero is what he is.
You're looking
I've
pretty
never-
good for being dead.
I have been getting routinely tested since I believe May, and I never have gotten COVID. Like, and when I say routinely, like every other week, every 2 to 3
What else
weeks.
do you get tested for regularly?
I mean, you should be. I mean, you're
I
like a
do a
filthy
whole-
sailor. You go port to
I
port.
do a whole panel. I do every time I go in, and I drink like a bunch of water, and I take some honey for my blood sugar, and I just basically donate like a pint, and they just check for everything. No, I've routinely gotten tested, and nothing, and never gotten it. And I'm not vaccinated. And they at Freedom Fest, that like 4 or 5 people afterwards were like, "Hey, I just want to let you know I ended up testing positive for COVID." I'm like, "Yeah, I already got tested afterwards. I'm fine." Like I have MS, which is an autoimmune disease. So my theory is that finally my immune system finds something that it does right, and that's protect me from COVID. Because usually it's busy trying to kill my brain. So finally I gave it something useful to deal with other than my brain. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I feel like I'm immune because I don't watch much TV.
That's yeah.
So,
Just the requisite memes that you need.
yeah.
Oh yeah, so it was fun, dude. Porkfest rocked. It was fun. You definitely would have gotten COVID if you showed up, but yeah, man. No, it was good. I'm recovered. I'm fully recovered. We're good. Everything's good. Here.
I did not get COVID because
You were not at the Mises tent.
I visited there.
locked at the-
I
in the
stopped
Babs
over.
compound.
I said hey to Quiones and some other folks
Yeah,
were over there.
yeah.
If I had had more time, I would have gotten COVID over there. I would have been happy
just
to,
so busy.
to-
In the
to-
COVID
Yeah,
pool.
I was just too busy to get COVID with those guys. So maybe next
I know,
year.
but you had me at
Better
your
luck next
see,
year.
I was staying on your campground though, so that's what's funny. Is like I was staying like right there with you, just but you got spared, which is cool though. I'm glad. I'm glad you didn't get it.
Yeah. Well, we didn't exchange that many bodily fluids.
Not many, just a little.
Yeah.
bit.
That's the
That's
key.
good.
The key is the fluids.
But enough about us, Spike. We want to know. I heard you've been getting in fights with people in Kentucky. People.
Yes.
You've been
The
fighting these
entire
Kentucky
state of
people.
Kentucky. No, so I'm currently
tell.
in a battle with the city government of Russell, Kentucky, and the reason for this. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was in Kentucky for a candidate training event, and while I was there, doing part of the training with the candidates there, someone there said, "Hey, I know you like to post about things that are happening across the country, bad examples of government abusing people and stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, can you look into this thing that's happening in the town next to ours?" And basically, long story short, the city government is using eminent domain to seize and tear down a convalescent home it's a small convalescent home for 28 elderly, mentally disabled people, some of whom have been living there for over 20 years. They're like a family. But the problem is they've got this, old convalescent home that's in the middle of downtown, and the city wants to take it down and put up a parking lot and a green space and a farmer's market, like all this stuff. And this pesky private property is in the way. And so they're using eminent domain. And then it turns out, we look into it more. The city attorney owns a bunch of land around it and owns a spa and an attorney's her attorney's office right by it. Other people own key properties around it. Now, far be it from me to claim or to even infer that there's any kind of corruption or
I'll say it, and I don't even know the story. They're a bunch of corrupt bastards. They need to go to hell and frickin' kick their ass.
So even again, best of faith, I'm sure that it's all a coincidence. But regardless, because I certainly don't want to impugn anyone's character. But I will say this: what we're doing is we've been talking about it regularly. There's a bunch of pressure on them now to back off, and we've actually got something in the works that isn't quite ready to be announced. But basically, yeah, it's going to really blow up even more than we've been talking about.
What kind of pressure are you putting on them?
Right now, it's all just relegated to social media and being interviewed by their local media, because when we put out the stuff on social media, it blew up and went viral, and it caught local and regional media's attention. So now everyone in that area is fully aware of what's going on. And people across the
Right
country are fully aware of what's going on, but especially in that area where it actually matters the most.
Yeah.
And like I said, we are literally days away from being able to announce some other big stuff that's coming up that isn't going to be social media. It's going to be IRL stuff. But
cool. Well,
Brian kind of filled me in on that. And I'm excited. For people to know, Brian is Spike's pimp.
All right.
Yes.
Well, don't give away any strategic details.
Nope. He told me he was like talking about. Brian told me he said talk about it, but don't talk about it too much. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna let Spike.
No, this is a key area, I think, for libertarians, and people have approached libertarians in my area of Pennsylvania many times over the years. People come to, like, they're desperate, eminent domain situation, and they don't know who to turn to, and the libertarians are there, and the libertarians will come to their help. They're basically the only ones that will listen in these situations. And we've had some. There's been at least 3 different battles around Philly area. One time, the funnest one we ever had was in Abington, Pennsylvania, and we went to the homes of the town council people with an angry mob. We went door to door to their homes on like a Saturday morning, and we had megaphones, and we're calling them, and we're like, "Hey, there's an angry mob outside. Like, can you come out and talk to us?" And they were pissed. Oh, they didn't like that.
We just want to talk. Want to talk.
They're like, like, just come on out. And, and we're calling them out as thieves because they were stealing this old woman's downtown property. It was vacant, but because they had made it vacant, they had blocked them from getting any tenant in this retail property because they wanted it for a new library across the street from the old library, which nobody even gave a shit about anyway. Right. So, anyway, we went to these people's houses. We harassed them. They didn't mind us going to their stupid city council meetings, right?
Yeah,
because they control that. And you could get up there for 3 minutes and drop barbs on them, right? And it's fun, but they're still in control, right? You go to their house in front of their kids. You give neighbor. You get like we came up with these flyers that said for the neighbors, so like caution, thieves are active in the neighborhood. Like your property could be next, right? Just let everybody know that's the scumbag that you live next door to, that's on the city council, that's taking an old woman's property for their bullshit project, and freaking call them out. And man, they don't like it when you make it personal. They're like, oh my God. Oh, like they're making it personal. I said, what's personal is taking a woman's entire property. Okay. Yeah. Screw you.
I would have been like, hey, at least we're letting you keep your house. We're just giving you a hard time for a little bit, but you get to keep your house afterwards. We're not going to steal it from you and build a library.
God. I went up to one of their stupid meetings, and I got up for like your 3-minute thing. And I was like, I said, it's come to my attention that there's a lot of unused jewelry in the jewelry boxes of older women that no longer wear their rings and diamonds. And I feel like maybe you guys should go door to door and confiscate this unused property and better allocate it for the community.
Right. And of course, now you're giving them ideas, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, they're like, or I said, there's I asked, I said, if the city lawyers approved it and you needed a kidney, would you forcibly like remove it from someone?
Yes,
they would. The answer is yes, they would. Yeah. Like they would, but don't like yell at them about it because it's not personal. Yeah.
You can't yell at them for it. That hurts their feelings.
Dude, keep us posted on whatever you're doing down there. All right. Yeah. Whatever we can do to pile on some heat and embarrass those bastards. Because
how did you get connected with it, Spike?
So I was at a candidate training event, and literally some people that are with the Libertarian Party of Kentucky, they came, and this is a fight they've been fighting. They show up to the meetings and they don't even bother letting them throw barbs at them. At their meetings, they've been having the city police escort anyone who tries to talk during public comments, which is completely illegal.
Yeah, isn't that what
pile on. Bring everybody down. Bring everybody in. Anybody that can get there, like come to their stupid things, or even better, you're off, whatever you're doing, pile on and just, make their lives so miserable. It looks like a small bullshit town, right? Like they just probably think they can get away with anything.
It's a small town that's been doing this for years, and they finally found a guy with a decent social media reach who's able to signal boost what's happening there. And like I said, we are painfully close to be able to talk about what we have planned, but this is just getting started. We are.
Well, we want to hear all about it.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously,
yeah,
when the time comes, whatever we can do to pile on, is okay with me.
Okay, cool. And just to let you know, the stuff that we're going to be doing here, this is just the beginning. We're actually using this as a proof of concept. We're going to be doing this across the country because unfortunately there's no shortage of stories like this.
Oh my God.
Where abuse of eminent domain, abuse of criminal justice system, abuse of the bail system, it's the stories that we get and fully vet. There are hundreds of them across the country. So I guess the silver lining there is that it is a target rich environment for us to go. And the whole purpose of this, first of all, if we're able to actually get them to back off of doing this, great. If we aren't, at the very least, we are getting enough people together. The secondary goal is if we can't get them to back off of this, the next goal is to. We already have people that are filling out for that are donating to a GoFundMe. Contractors who have stepped up and said, "Well, I'll donate this, I'll donate that," to build a new home for them nearby, so that they don't have to get scattered across to government-run facilities. Because this is one of the lowest-cost convalescent homes in the area, and it has a special need for mentally disabled elderly people. So they can't afford to go to these newer ones, which means they're going to get stuck in basically like prisons for old people that are run by the state. Anyway, we're trying to avoid all that. And also to drive home, this is something that's happening in locales across the country because of the Kelo decision from 2005. This is the federal government through the Supreme Court said, yeah, sure, you can steal land for whatever the hell you want. And that
you're going to make more money. That's considered public good, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. No problem. Sounds totally legit. Somehow the government decided that they can do anything they want to do if it means the government gets more money. Surprise.
Surprise. I'm shocked. I'm as shocked as you are, obviously.
We had a school board in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. They took a golf course. Okay. They're like, why? Because we can. Fuck you.
What? A school board?
They took a goddamn golf course.
Wow.
And they had it's always like, if you look, there's always some kind of federal grant involved. Somehow they're like, well, if we don't do this now, we won't get that money. And then they spring into action and they it's all a bunch of shit from top to bottom. When you start peeling these things back like an onion, it's corrupt contractors, brothers-in-law, It's a circle jerk.
Yeah. In this case, with this town, their first eminent domain foray was after getting federal money. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be for, but they were going to use it. They seized some property and they were going to build this marina and all this stuff. And then apparently the Army Corps of Engineers said, you're not building any of that. We're not going to approve that. Where that money went, no one really knows. And again, we got plenty more coming up down the pike on that we're dealing with that. So this is going to be a very, very fun story to cover.
I'm excited to hear the follow up, but we'll definitely be talking about it here because I'm sure it's going to be very fun.
Awesome.
We have the same thing with the school board. Even here, like in my local town, I'm in a bunch of like local groups, and man, it got a lot of popular support. Like there's people who they're like desperate for a high school in our area. Because in Howard County, I live right outside of Howard County. And Howard County is one of the richest counties in the country. It's right out, it's like one county away from DC. It's like absolutely insane how much money they get in taxes. And so they're desperate for like this one corner of our county, which is kind of like the lower income part of the county, and they've been desperate to get a high school. And so they're just like, there's people in this group just talking like casually, like, oh, hey, let's remove there's businesses over there. Let's just plow the businesses, take their property and just build the school there. And they're all like, I'm like, wow, that sounds really fucked up. Like
it's like they're playing Sim City or something like
yes,
that. Tear this down and put that there. Yeah.
So it gets a lot of public support, and that's what drives me crazy. And so I know what you're going through with that. It just, I'm looking forward to the aftermath of what happens. So
it's
we'll
gonna
definitely be
good,
talking about that.
And the thing is, I've been using it as an opportunity. I don't think he realizes he's muted.
Babs, you're muted. There you go.
Okay, have fun with it and kick their ass. Like you can have so much fun with it because you obviously have the moral high ground. They're obviously a bunch of scumbag looters, and they're just waiting for people to frickin' punch them in the face with that fact.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been using it as an opportunity. So I'm talking with media, and, these are, small town media. They're not really like, they're not getting into political stuff very often. It's mostly like small town stuff. And so they're asking about this. And I'm not just hitting them with like, how the Kelo decision affected it, but I'm hitting them with stuff. I'm like, this is what happens when things are democratized. When someone's property rights aren't their own, they aren't absolute. They're treated to, a majority vote, whether or not they exist or not. This is the kind of stuff that happens. You don't actually own anything if your neighbors, or actually more appropriately, if the people in power decide that they just want to take it from you, because and the rest of the community might not even care because it's not their property and they're not stakeholders. And what do they care? And oh wow, a parking lot. Some green area and a nice playground for the kids. That sounds great. Oh, that pesky old building. Let's get rid of it. This is
everyone's just conditioned to evaluate any issue based on their own personal reward or cost.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I would like a parking deck. That's a great idea. Yeah. Take their stuff. What
was this thing you referenced? The Kelo decision?
Kelo. So Kelo versus, I always forget with this part. Kelo versus
New London?
versus New London. Yeah. New London, Connecticut, the city government, the city of New London stole this person's property to build a bunch of stuff for a private or to actually hand it off to, I think it was one of the big pharma companies. But anyway, they were going to do a bunch of development there. And this was not a public good. Like, these were going to be for profit. It was a for-profit corporation that was putting up properties that were going to generate revenue. And they argued, the city of New London argued, well, yeah, it's a public use because we're going to get more tax revenue from it. So we can spend that on stuff. So it's a public use. And they took that to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, yeah, that's definitely a public use. That was in 2005.
Wow.
Well, now I realize
that's what started all this.
There's something that doesn't really, it's kind of irrelevant, but it's worth mentioning just so they can reinforce the fact that it's irrelevant, is the Kentucky Constitution actually has what they call a Bill of Rights.
Yep.
And I guess it's a big joke because they have a thing, number 5, they have the right of acquiring and protecting property. It says that here.
The right of acquiring and protecting.
And that has been determined in the Kentucky Supreme Court or Superior Court or whatever it is, that means that a municipality or state, anytime they take property for a public use, they need to have exhausted all voluntary options first. And they have to have demonstrated that they have exhausted all voluntary options. They haven't made offer one on a property for this. They literally just made
they have a right to protect property. So how many guns does the house have?
I don't know. Well, we may find out. I don't know.
Could we do like a GoFundMe or maybe get some 3D printed weapons to these people
to arm the convalescent home? Arm the convalescent.
It says right here. I mean, what else do you do? If your house, if you knew that some thugs were coming over to take your house, what would you do besides stockpile weapons? Is that an extreme view? I'm just reading this document here, and it says right here you can protect your property. Yep. So either this document is null and void, and I'll accept that option, or we need to arm the convalescent home, right? Like, which is it? Tell me whether this is a bullshit joke or that these people need weapons.
I'll clarify for Spike. I don't think that's the plan.
I haven't
That's
said
the big news that's coming down the pike.
I've said I haven't told you the big news yet. Okay.
Oh shit! It actually might be.
I have not told you the big. I have not told you the big news
to the nursing home.
Okay. I've not said the big news.
Not so fast.
I mean, if you tell me Right. Tell me this document is just a big joke and it's null and void, and I'll accept the premise that these guys shouldn't get weapons.
Oh, Spooner demonstrated that all these documents are null and void, 100 plus years ago. I mean, did you sign it?
I want them to say it, though. I want them to say,
well, yeah.
no, sorry, that document is null and void here in whatever we're doing. Just make them say it. Make them, just bring them to that point where they have to say, no, I'm sorry. I know you're allowed to protect it, but you're not allowed to protect it.
This document means nothing. Yeah. Oh, insult to injury. They didn't even bother telling him. The owners of the convalescent home found out in the news.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Yeah, I did hear you say that.
Which is also illegal.
Surprise tactics are quite common. We had a Philly situation where people got like less than 30 days notice that their shit was gone. Like Philly City Council, oh, you did this was a neighborhood in Kensington. Okay. And if you guys know Philly, Kensington is like heroin. It's a real shitty neighborhood under the subway. It's nasty, right? But there was this one neighborhood that really carved out a nice little section for them. People took really good care of their properties, built little garages, businesses. Community was really nice, up and coming. They made it so nice. The city council said, "Ooh, how nice that is. Thank you. We'll take that now."
Yep.
Fuck you. And they ended up losing a whole bunch of their property, a whole bunch of some of the sweetest, nicest, hardworking people that I ever met. Went to the mat with Philly, and good luck.
Yeah. So we're starting here, but this is just the beginning. Our plan is to, not just with eminent domain, but I think eminent domain is going to be a big one because there are so many just blatant examples of this. And we're trying to build grassroots support to reverse kilo at the, I eat keto. So that's why I'm thinking keto, reverse kilo at the do nullification at the city and state level, actually passing legislative changes so that they can't actually do this. And also more importantly than that, because the legislative changes they'll find some new way to do it and it'll just frustrate them in their attempt to do it. If we can build popular support against this so that politicians know if they try to do this, they're not going to be in office anymore. And if we can also push for, if there is any actual conflict of interest, is any actual corruption there, actually try to get some people locked up. Again, there's a lot more coming down the pipe.
Here's an idea. Here's something I've wanted to do and never had a chance to try would be to find out where they go to church, right? And to pamphlet the church people as they come out, go in your suit and come out and hand everybody that comes out a pamphlet about what that scumbag is doing and about how thou shalt not steal and they're going to burn in hell. Right. And saturate their own church with that. Right. Just freaking take them on at their base,
so a picture of a picture of the politician with a backdrop of flames behind them and
whatever it takes. It's just thou shalt not steal, and lead with that. Right. And freaking call them out because maybe they'll get reelected. But you know what? They don't want shit at their church. I guarantee that.
They don't want to go to hell.
Right.
They don't want to have to explain their bullshit to their neighbors. At least that's my philosophy. I don't know.
You got something there. Like I said,
right.
I wish you'd stop dropping the lead here because I'm specifically I can't talk about all the things we're gonna do. But no, we have a lot in store, and the point of it is to drive home that this is not going to be something you don't get to steal people's property and be comfortable afterwards. And that's not any kind of threat of violence or anything. But they might succeed.
Odds are they will succeed and they'll get away with it. But you can A, increase their cost financially. B, you can increase their cost politically, and you can embarrass the crap out of them. And you can use the issue as an example to promote libertarianism because it's one of the most egregious examples of what government does best is just take your shit. And if you don't like it, they kill you. Right. Yeah. Let's bring, this is what government is in a nutshell. Let's have at it.
All government is an implicit threat of violence. And we can drive that point home with this stuff.
For sure.
Because we all know what'll happen. We all know you can't actually, you can say, I don't want you to take my property, but you can't stop. I mean, you can try to stop them, but they'll just kill you, or they'll arrest you, or they'll fine you, or whatever. But they'll use whatever level of violence is necessary to make you comply. And it's like everyone knows that. So all we have to do is just.
Are you guys familiar with
this is violence?
Shenandoah National Park? Do you guys know Shenandoah National Park?
Yeah. I've heard of it. Yeah.
Well, did you know there was a massive amount of eminent domain that was required to establish that? Like they wanted a park close to DC politicians, and this was going to be the one. Hundreds and hundreds of families were evicted, and they had to go in and burn their homes to make sure they didn't come back.
Wow.
And so enjoy the scenic drive.
Yeah.
Somehow their like burned out homesteads aren't on the park, tour map.
How long ago did they do that?
I think it was, I don't know, within a generation or two, couple generations maybe.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe back in the 60s or something. I don't remember what year it was. It's been a little while.
I thought it was a lot earlier than that. I thought it was like the 1930s they did that.
Might have been.
I could be wrong. Yeah.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
I'm looking right now. 1935.
Yeah.
And people were actually barricaded, and they threatened to burn their homes down with them in it.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Thank you for your service, government agents.
Yeah. Really.
And most people will list like the U.S.
safety.
Park Service. Like if you said, "What's your favorite branch of government?" You know what I mean? Like, "Oh, I love the Park Service. Oh, I love the hiking trails. Oh, it's so nice." They're fucking murderers and killers. Okay, don't forget.
God damn it!
Speaking of crabs, speaking of crabs, come see me in Easton, Maryland. On Saturday, the 11th of this coming month, we will be doing an event in Easton, and I just dropped the link in the comments again on Facebook, so you can, because someone needs to drop the link in the comments.
Do it.
That's right. Go to lpmaryland.org/events, and you'll see it there, and you can buy tickets. Tickets are still on sale for the Crab and Chicken Feast coming up that we've been pushing very hard in casual conversation on this podcast. I'm sure people are sick of hearing about it, but if you're sick of hearing about it, show up.
So are you speaking there, Spike, or are you just hanging out?
I mean, if they want me to speak, I speak. I can talk for at least 30 minutes without any kind of prep. Like, I can't like, what do you want me to say? Okay.
Thing?
It's a crab.
I'm going to be eating crab. I'm eating crab.
We want you to just mingle and have fun and relax and just do what you do. If you want to speak to us, you can.
Is he going to need a bib?
Not.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. I just came from having crabs tonight. So
it's not the first libertarian event you've been to that required bibs.
No, well, I mean, we all heard about Pork Fest. It was pretty, but I'm gonna eat a distressingly large number of crabs, and then we're gonna go to DC and I'm gonna speak at the End the Damn Wars rally, just filled with crab meat. So I'm just like, I'm gonna waddle on and like, hey everybody, you know what I like more than crabs? The ending wars. It's gonna be rough. I'm probably gonna take whoever's driving me there. I'm probably gonna sleep in the car and just get a little bit of rest and get out.
What kind of event is that? I haven't heard about that.
So it's called the End the Damn Wars rally, and it's happening. If you go to, I think it's endthedamnwars.org, and I think we're doing a bit of a caravan from the crab event. Endthedamnwars.org. Yeah, we're going to be kind of caravanning from where the Crab Fest is to DC, and I'll be there to speak. Scott Horton is going to be there. They're lining up
another COVID survivor from the Mises tent.
Yes. It's actually a Pork Fest reunion, and with everyone now having strong antibodies from Pork Fest.
You can't talk about that. You can't talk about antibodies.
God.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not being as protected as they would if they'd go and get the vaccine. So come out and join us in Easton on the 11th of the month after this one, and and then
it's gonna be fun. No, it's definitely gonna be fun. I'm glad that we finally got you out there for that event, and also I'm gonna let you guys know of a secret that we're just gonna announce tonight, but. since, like I told you, Brian's your pimp, and he told me to put you to
Yes.
work the next day.
Yep.
So we are also going to have a Full House caucus meetup with the Mises Caucus in September 12th, where Spike will get to the Waffle House caucus.
God.
Waffle House. I thought you said
Full
House
House.
caucus.
It's the Full House caucus. That's no. I changed it. I just
Full
changed it.
House
Full House
caucus?
caucus. Yes.
I want to do the Family Matters caucus, not the Full House caucus. Family Matters is way better.
I'll be Urkel. No, so we'll have the Waffle House caucus.
Step by
meeting.
step by step was a.
Why don't we just call it? Why don't we just call it TGIF caucus?
Yes, the TGIF lineup caucus. I'm putting this in my to-do list. Create step-by-step caucus. Hold on.
Good Lord, I can't talk.
Yep.
I can't speak.
I don't even know what that is.
Man.
I guess I'm too old for this.
No,
You're
Step by
you must.
step? That would've been
You're
your
too
era.
old to watch sitcoms in the 90s. Step by Step.
Yes.
Was
Yeah,
a
I'd already found
sitcom.
drugs at that point.
Oh, okay. So it was Step by Step was God, who all was in that? Patrick Duffy, Suzanne Summers, and a bunch of other people. Yeah.
Ooh, Suzanne Summers. I remember her.
Yeah, Suzanne Summers. Yeah, Suzanne Summers and Patrick Duffy were the anchors of that show in more ways than one. And when I made the Waffle House caucus, I'm like, I'm gonna make this caucus one of the largest in the party, and it's now the second largest caucus in the party. And when the Mises caucus, when the group was taken down, it was almost the biggest. But the
I mean, a caucus isn't really a caucus unless there's like an anti-version, right? Like nobody cared about Mises caucus until somebody decided they were like.
We have there's a Denny's caucus, a
Denny's
Shoney's caucus, an IHOP caucus, a Huddle House caucus, and they're all losers. They don't get anywhere, and they're all just pissed off because we're so successful. So what's going to happen now is, now that we've completely dominated with the Waffle House caucus, I'm going to do the step-by-step caucus. I fully expect there to be a Roseanne caucus and a Living Single caucus, and gosh, who else? What was that called? What was that called with the two brothers and the one was from Europe? Balky. What was that?
Perfect Strangers. He's from the island
Perfect
of Mykonos.
Strangers caucus. Man, actually, I think I want to make that.
How about
So I'm either going to make a step-by-step caucus or a perfect. It's going to be step-by-step. That was a way better. That was a good show. It was a sleeper, and it was the anchor of that. It was the best part of that lineup.
If I ever got back in the LP, I would start the Space 1999 caucus. Okay, like I feel like this is like get some kind of dignity involved here. Like,
there's the Fremen caucus, which I'm a part of. I'm very proud member of the Fremen from the movie Dune.
Yes, the Fremen. Yeah, from Dune, the Fremen caucus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, I love that. It's great. There's so many goddamn caucuses. We started the South Park caucus at the convention last year.
Well, are there any good feuds? What happened to the Audacious caucus? Are they still? Have they done anything audacious lately?
They formed the Cathedral Caucus.
Canceled Spike.
To me, that was Audacious Caucus was born in a moment of extreme audacity, right? I mean, it was the perfect like it came forward at a time that the LP needed it like most, right? Like this horrible path the LP's on, and finally a guy gets up there and shakes around his naked fat body. Like this was exactly what was required, and it was audacious as fuck, and like it really got the LP back on track. I think we can all agree, like that
fixed it. No, it fixed it.
Yeah, no, right. It provided valuable cover, right? It really provided valuable cover because it filled a lot of the media, so they didn't have to talk about that shithead Gary Johnson, who had just been nominated in the most embarrassing moment in LP history, right? So. Thank God this fat guy gets up there and it's like, I'm going to take this one for the team. And he did it, and that's audacious as fuck.
If you only knew how horrible James Weeks was.
Listen, you know what? I judge people by their actions. Okay?
By their actions.
Not by their face. Okay. And he did what was needed when the time came. All right. So, we can all, I think, be inspired by that.
He came through in the clutch. No, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Save the LP.
Save the
Sure.
Save the LP caucus.
But so back to my original point is we're gonna have a waffle. So you're gonna pop my Waffle House cherry, Spike, because I've never been to one before.
Sure.
And we got one around here. It's like
What kind
it's
of a
like
redneck are you? Wait a minute.
I'm not a
That's
redneck.
terrible.
Yeah. So I've never been to one. So my first time will be
Okay.
with you. So
Oh, nice.
So
Sounds
Brian
romantic.
told me to put you to work, so I figured that's what you can do is popping my cherry.
That's what we're gonna do is go to, and that's where I'm going to announce the formation. I will have already done the groundwork, but that's where I will announce the formation of the step-by-step caucus right
There we
there
go.
as
Right there.
the all-star special, the ASS of the Waffle House caucus. I will make that announcement of the creation of. And it's not going to be a sister caucus. Like it's going to be a completely separate thing. If
Okay.
they end up going to war with each other, then that's
So be
fine.
it.
I'm fine. So be it.
And you
is
heard
what
it here
is.
first, people. You heard it here first that you're going to hear it first there.
Yes, we'll definitely have pictures of Patrick Duffy. Yes.
Yeah.
Patrick, yes. Okay. He was a weightlifter back in the day, man. He was kind of sexy, man.
Yeah.
He was-
No, he was.
Oh,
no,
man.
he was badass. He was badass.
I know. And of
He
course,
kind of dialed it down
Chrissy.
by step, though.
Yeah, he had that cool perm haircut in the back. Like that was awesome.
No,
And
nice.
Suzanne Summers was still pretty smoking at that point too.
Mhm.
You know, Chrissy
Yeah. And he had like
from Grease
he had
Company.
like the gray perm thing going. Yeah, no, that was it. That show. I'm bringing it back. What I like is
Bringing it
so. I'm bringing step by step back.
Like a
So-
reboot. You know, it'd be cool.
Yeah,
if
no,
Three's Company reboot, kind of like the Battlestar Galactica reboot, where they kind of reimagined it in a new,
Yeah.
dark and twisted way for adults.
But for step by step.
Come and knock on our door.
Oh my god, what are we doing here? I don't even know anymore. Just plotting stupid caucuses for the LP. I love it. I got
Yeah, no,
this
that's-
is
I mean,
this
that's-
is why you're here.
That's most LP activism is coming up with stupid caucuses. I mean, like that's like the majority of it. Or then once you've made your stupid caucus, doing everything you can to push it forward. So it's those two things: make a stupid caucus and then try to like dominate with it. And
they
we've
have this
accomplished
much
that
fun?
with the Waffle House caucus.
You think they have this much fun in the Democratic Party or the Republican Party or like the Socialist Party?
Yeah. Well, no.
are they,
they're
are they
much
coming up
better.
with other caucuses and shit? Probably not.
Nah,
right?
they're-
No,
well, they fight
no.
amongst themselves, but it's probably more about like personal issues and personal hygiene and shit like that. They fight over.
They
Personal
have,
hygiene.
yeah. We don't fight over personal hygiene.
Yeah.
They use the wrong pronouns and wars start over that. Okay.
We
So-
have
time to bomb straight
it's
again.
funny. Republicans and
Called me
Democrats
a-
have caucuses, but they're usually like they'll have like 5 caucuses, main caucuses. We have like 10 times as many caucuses. It's amazing.
I think each libertarian member should be required to have their own caucus.
I mean, isn't that what we want, right? Isn't
A
that the
caucus
goal?
of
Yeah.
one.
Secession until it's every individual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Why
Let's
not?
reflect that in the party.
Practice what you preach.
It's
Andrew,
our covenant community
A-
caucus.
Andy Warhol said that in the future and one day everyone would have their own caucus for 15 minutes and it would take over the party and then immediately disintegrate
There we go.
about 15 minutes
Oh,
roughly.
man.
Why
Wow.
can't they all
That-
exist simultaneously?
You'd have to ask him. I'm not the one who said it.
He's probably dead.
Yeah, I think he is too.
I'm trying to put that on
Andy
me.
Warhol? Yeah, he's dead. He's been dead.
Oh my god! I don't. Do we even really talk? Like we hit on some pretty good issues, but oh my god, I love this podcast so much. We don't do anything really. too serious.
One other thing, because my pimp's gonna get mad at me if I don't bring this up. So
Right.
next week, this coming weekend, I'm going to be in Miami and Fort Lauderdale for Labor Day weekend, and I'm doing just an absolute slew of events, and I'm doing so many that I'm literally pulling up my calendar because this is how bad I am at remembering what I'm doing on a given day. Hold on. I'm going to be. It's real. So okay, hold on. No, what I do?
You're
Okay,
very high
so-
in demand.
So on the 3rd, I'm going to be in Tamarack, Florida, at the Lauderdale Lakes Moose Lodge, where I will be speaking. It's a Cuban cuisine buffet. Jesus. And we're going to be doing. I'm doing an event.
God.
That sounds amazing. Cuban
Does it have
buffet.
mojitos? Will there be mojitos there?
I would hope so. And well, a recovering drug addict, but so not for me.
What-
But
What,
I'm gonna be
recovering
doing-
drug addicts can't enjoy a mojito?
I mean, really, I thought this was America. And so I'll be doing this event with at the Moose Lodge there with Mike Tremont, who's running for Congress. Then on the 4th, I'm doing an Everglades tour. If you want to get, and if you, all this is on spikecohen.com. If you guys want to,
awesome.
anyone wants to do any of this stuff, you can come tour the Everglades on a fan boat with me and Mike Tremont. Then on that same day at 6, I'm doing at Ruben Dario Park in Miami. I'm doing an event with Libertarios Hispanos. It's a SOS Cuba supply drive and rally for the protesters in Cuba to topple the Castro regime. We're going to topple the Castro regime, basically.
How about just invite them all over? Just be like, dudes, like, yeah,
the
whatever,
Castro regime?
Cuba sucks.
Yeah,
like
Castro.
bail out. Yeah. Didn't Castro even? Yeah.
Yeah, he died, but I think his brother's in charge now.
Well, no,
right?
Raul Castro is still in charge. Raul. So what we're gonna do is actually it'll be like a reverse Bay of Pigs. We'll invite them to come over here. So we're doing that, and then on the 5th,
And stage some kind of false flag, just for nostalgia's sake.
This is what it says in my note. On Sunday from 3 to 5, I might. It says crash Maj Touré's event. Maybe. So
Yes.
I might.
Well, the cat's out of the bag now.
might crash his event. Then from 5 to 7, I'm doing a shooting competition, not a duel. A shooting competition. We're going to be shooting at target, not at each other. With Martha
In a public
Bueno.
school.
Yeah,
With who?
with Martha Bueno. And then I'm doing a salsa party. Goodness, I'm doing a salsa dance party at Cuba Ocho at 9.
Agent
Yeah,
Spike.
you're living the
Who's your
life.
booking agent, Spike? Can we get in on this? Like, hey,
Brian,
come on.
no, Brian
Like,
does
this is
all,
the
Brian
life.
does
What's wrong
like
with you?
all
Whoa.
of this. Every weekend is like this. Brian will be like, he'll call me in the morning and be like, "These are the 15 things I have you doing today." Every weekend, except this weekend. This weekend I had off.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He's like, yeah, this weekend you have off, but if you don't hear from him, let me know because I'm gonna call him and I'm gonna ream him out and like, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
No,
that's
we're glad
Hey,
you made it here.
Enjoy it.
Brian is
so-
the Jewish mother that I had thought I had, but it turns out I didn't have nearly as Jewish a mother as I do now.
Oh, Brian's cool. I'm always on the phone with him talking. I don't know why. We go every like 2 weeks. I'm like, he's calling me or I'm calling him. It's funny. So no,
Brian's
it's
amazing.
yeah. So I'm glad you came on. And are you cool to stick over for after hours? We're gonna do like a little bit, like an hour or so after this.
I can hang around for a little bit. Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
whenever
as long as
you want. So cool. Well, we're about done with the free episode. So all you takers and people
All
that
you
are just
looters.
ripping. Yeah, you.
Freeloaders.
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 If you guys, you want to do the real podcast, this is where we're gonna talk all of the dirt. Spike's mixtape and everything. We're gonna talk about that.
Wow. Yeah, we're gonna play.
on after hours.
We're gonna play my mixtape.
We're
Yeah.
We're gonna play it there. So if you guys want to
Yeah,
hear
the whole
said podcast and mixtape, please check out our Patreon and go to patreon.com/punkrocklibertarians. Sign up for as little as $1 a month, but hey, why not give $5? And help us out. If you go to PRLfans.com, there's other ways to donate to the show if you don't like using Patreon. Send us Bitcoin, whatever you want. It's going to be fun. It'd be good for us.
And a portion of the proceeds will be used to arm people in the convalescent home.
That's right.
I like this idea. I really like this idea. I'm sure their doctors will be very happy about elderly, mentally disabled people with guns. That's probably
Why not? We
I
arm the
think-
Taliban. Why not?
Yeah.
really.
is what
You know
we
what?
had-
They're
you know
less
what?
dangerous than the Taliban.
It's
That's
called
right.
a firearm is a neutralizer. It means a weaker person can defend themselves against a stronger person.
Right.
Absolutely.
What is a better example?
No,
Taliban.
that's good. Please check out our sponsors for tonight. Wheelie's Pharmacy, wheeliespharmacy.com. Buy all your CBD stuff you need right at that website. That's Wheelies, WHEELYS, pharmacy with a F.com. Check out Dave Casey. That's his business, and he's a good sponsor of the show. So please check that out. Use the code PRL10 for a 10% discount. Speaking of buying things for us, we also have T-shirts for sale. I know someone commented on my hat. They like my hat, but we also have T-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. If you use the code PRL or PRL Podcast, you get a 10% discount. But if you spend $50 or more, use the code PRL2 and get yourself a 20% discount. We're also brought to you by Hidden in Plain Sight by Moral Bobs. Check out his podcast. And until next time, everybody, live free
or die.